Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Driftr podcast with your co-hosts Brian Fontenot,
Brandon Boone,
and Kiera Sandoval.
Woos. So we missed y'all guys. Hadn't talked to y'all in about a good week. We missed y'all so much that we had to do another podcast showing.
right?
So the last week we talked about going to Havana, Cuba, right when you had overbooked flights. We talked about the difference between transferable points and redeemable points, and we even covered how you tip. And we're looking forward to the show that we have for y'all today. So to start things off, I'm going to open it up with the question of the day. Today's question of the day was, what is the best meal or snack you've ever had on an airplane? I know mine. I don't know about y'all. I can visualize this like, you know what I'm saying, like it's Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Take us back. What happened?
Okay. So Etihad Airways is the airlines that changed my life. Definitely got on there. And, you know, I don't think I had been traveling that much before. This was like 2 years ago. And we're going to Dubai. And they had chicken fried smothered steak with some mashed potatoes. Potatoes, because it tasted like that. And the green beans. I was just like, yo, y'all must be in a store like somebody's grandma, because how Etihad going to have better food than other American-based airlines?
Right.
I was like, what?
That's how it be.
What?
And it had the gravy, too?
Yes.
What?
The white gravy?
Right.
Yes. I was like, girl.
Had a little roll on the side.
Bruh. I'm like, look, if you had told me a long time ago that foreign airlines would have all this like good Southern food, I would have stopped flying, domestic flights, period, or domestic airlines, period.
We need to step it up.
You need to step up that cooking, bring some soul food to the plane. That's how you're gonna get your people.
I need some macaroni and cheese and some collard greens. Right?
That would be super lit.
Mac and cheese. Get
the
please.
itis off top.
Come on now.
Go straight to sleep.
But would you really eat macaroni and cheese and collard greens if they serve it to you on an airplane?
Sure will. I ain't picky.
Is my name Brian?
Well, I'll make sure I have one of y'all try it first, and then y'all let me know how it is.
All right,
I'm picky about my soul food.
And we'll be your little guinea pig since that's what you want.
Okay, perfect. Still waiting on my travel squad welcome packet.
Look, it'll be there with the mac and cheese.
So,
Gotcha.
I think my favorite meal would have to be, we was on our way to Amsterdam. I think it was United Airlines. They served us some chicken coconut curry. At first, I was hesitant. I was like, I don't know about this. But it was pretty good, though. It was pretty good. Like,
you said chicken coconut curry?
Yeah, like Indian style, like
chicken coconut
curries. And with the rice, the little roll on the side. Put me right to sleep.
Sounds interesting.
You sure you just won't put to sleep from a roofie?
Never that, fam. Never that.
And what airline did you say that was?
I think it was United.
What?
I know, right?
Y'all got expensive. That's why they started beating people over the head.
Right.
All that curry and coconut milk is not cheap. That's hilarious. So, I guess the best thing I've ever had on a flight is just because I like cookies. The little biscotti cookies or the Biscoff cookies from Delta Airlines. Those are actually my favorite. Like, I look forward to those all the time. And I always wink at the stewardess lady to give me a few more. So I try to get like 3 of them, and then I hold them in my purse and eat them later. So that's what I like the most. Because I feel like airline food kind of always tastes the same, or you always get the same thing, like a piece of chicken and some sauce or whatever. So, but the cookies are the best thing for me.
Yeah. I do love Southwest Belvita cookies that they hand out.
Southwest. I never got any Belvita cookies from Southwest.
Yes.
Oh,
Brandon got the Southwest plugs.
Now that you said that, JetBlue has the best snacks on flights. Like they have a box of different snacks. So you can get like munchies, you can get cookies, you can get corn chips, you can get peanuts or pretzels, you can get the the blue taco corn chip or whatever that is. They have a wide assortment of snacks, and you can get as many as you want. So
Dang. I need to go
JetBlue
ahead and
is
take
good for
this
that.
JetBlue flight.
I love JetBlue actually. It's one of my favorite airlines.
Nice. I haven't flown them yet.
You need to.
Oh.
JetBlue changed his lives. I believe it. My life was changed going to Fort Lauderdale on JetBlue.
Interesting. And where does JetBlue fly out of in Texas?
Out of Austin too.
Out of Austin? Oh, y'all fancy.
Yeah, I didn't know we had it. I thought it was just like a Northeast carrier. So
Yeah, they're big out of Boston. In DC, they're big from like DCA or Dulles. Well, more so DCA, but definitely like a Boston to San Fran route you can get on JetBlue easy.
nice.
Yes.
And they got the good food.
Oh, also like if you do like a JetBlue, if you do New York to Orlando, that's pretty big. Also, maybe like Orlando to like Puerto Rico. That's a good flight to take as well.
Well, we all know Etihad has the food. United maybe. JetBlue definitely got it.
Got the snacks on
Got
deck.
the snacks on deck, man.
It's a snack.
Snack attack.
Well, that's it for my food adventures on an airplane. I'm not as lucky as you guys. I'll just take my biscotti and go.
Are you not as adventurous?
Yes.
You're like, let me try this meal. Because, sometimes you see those meals that come by. I had some pasta one time that it smelled really good. And it looked really good when I opened up the box. And then when I stuck that fork in and it came to my mouth, I was like, oh, no. If I eat this, the food's going to come out one of two ways. And both of them not going to be pretty.
That's hilarious.
I hate that though when the food look good and you just thinking it's gonna be good.
Bro, I was just like, one time I was like super hungry. And I was just like, I know this food on this plane look good and it's gonna be good. And I ate it and I was so disappointed I almost vomited right there.
That's that hurt.
Yeah.
The best part of the airplane food for me is like, especially when we were on Emirates, just like the little accompaniments, like this piece of cheese, the roll, the cookie, the brownie, the crackers.
So
I
you
don't know.
like the snacks and the
I like
sides.
snacks.
Yeah, you're not the meal person. You the snack attack person.
Snack god.
I'm taking all y'all snacks when y'all go to.
Oh,
Yeah, I eat all the snacks. I eat the cheese. The Emirates cheese was really good. It was like this white kind. I don't even know what kind of cheese. It was just a white cheese. It was so good. And I took like my friends and I asked the lady for another one. So yeah, cheese all day is good for me.
Oh, trust me, I'm used to snack attack. I travel with somebody just like that. Give me all your snacks. Like that.
Oh, give me those snacks.
Yeah. No snacks for me. That's why I had to go to
Snacks.
go to the little shops before and get me like some what's that? The cola candy, the cola gummy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite right there.
Yeah.
What?
The cola gummy. The gummy and it has like Coca-Cola, shit like Coca-Cola bottle.
Oh,
Yeah.
that must be some Texas stuff.
Nah, it's only like in Germany. Most times I find it. It came over from Germany somewhere.
Oh, like the old things you twist off the bottle, the wax.
No, they gummies.
They gummies.
Like gummy
they're
bears,
gummies.
but they Coca-Cola.
Oh no.
Look, snack attack. You're supposed to know these things.
She said no.
I don't like jelly filled or filled stuff.
Oh, it's the
Like
Haribo
jelly.
Happy Cola gummy candy.
Haribo. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Snack attack. That's your new name.
Okay.
We'll change the title of your name. Co-host with Snack Attack.
Snack attack, Sandoval.
Snack Attack Sandoval. She's gonna make sure that you get the best meal. Well, cool. So make sure to get your snacks according to Snack Attack Sandoval.
It's a snack.
And if you try some foreign airlines, definitely try their food because it might be better than anything that your grandmama cooking for Thanksgiving. Just kidding. It ain't gonna be that good.
Well, my grandma cooking wasn't that good, so it probably
What?
I hope she'll listen to the podcast.
Right.
My grandma didn't cook that well.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
Yes.
You need
On
to
that note,
Hey, you need to visit the South ASAP.
we're
Oh, no, I
gonna
lived in the South for 10 years. I'm good.
okay.
Yes.
We're gonna move on to the next session of our podcast, and that we're gonna talk about Cards and Points, a weekly segment with Brandon and myself. And so for today, we're going to get down to the battle of all battles. Do you focus on getting points or do you get these cashback cards?
Good question.
Right.
I like that question.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I'm going to let Brandon go ahead and break things off.
But low key, I think cashback is coming up right now, though. But me starting off, I was a big points guy. And points is basically it's what you can use to book flights with, or you can transfer to the travel partners. So points is a lot more valuable than cashback. That's why a lot of people focus on points. But nowadays, cashback is coming pretty strong depending on how you use it. Certain cards offer just cashback, which can be used for credit statements, which you can cashback. Say you got 5,000 points, that would be $5. But nowadays, with a lot of cards like American Express, the Blue Everyday card, they offer like 3% on groceries. So depending on how you use it and your strategy behind it, cashback can be valuable too. One of my best cashback cards has been the Barclay Arrival Plus, and with that card you get 50,000 points, and which you can use as a $500 credit towards any travel purchase. So I don't know, Brian. I know you're not big on cashback, but
I'm about to surprise you.
it's on what?
Oh, what?
Right? My heart stopped.
Man, so let me tell y'all a story about a young person named Brian who got into the credit card game and totally, looking back 4 or 5 years later, probably did wrong, but it still worked out though. I was a big cashback person about 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, what?
I was focused.
Look at God.
I know, right? I focused. I'll tell you the story. It really started from I had credit cards. I didn't really know what I was doing, so I just had a lot of credit. I had good credit. And then running a business shot my credit down and then had to be rebounding. And at that time, that was when they were still giving debit card rewards. So debit cards could get cash back or get points in those things. So I would use my debit card for everything. And then they took away the debit card stuff. And I was just like sitting there hurt because I was like, man, I always use my debit card for everything. I had like one debit account for like all my purchases and one debit account for like all my bills. And so then I decided to like really focus on getting credit cards with cash back because I didn't know about points at the time. I just was focused on getting that 1-2% cash back because I was like, man, you know how much money I make back on a year? Because I would actually sit there and chart and figure out how much money I spend in a year. And I'm like, if I could just get 2% back on all my purchases, that would be great. And I had no cards with annual fees. I had all cards that were free, like Capital One's, Quicksilver. I had a Discover It card, had some other cards. They were all cashback cards. And I made a killing off of cashback. And now this is before I even found out about services like Plastic where you could pay your bills. So I was just doing it off of all my purchases like groceries or gas or anything, any bill that I could pay on credit card I did. And a lot of it stemmed from I always saw my mother growing up. She put all of her bills on one American Express card and she'd pay it off every month. And she would use the points to get stuff. Well, instead of points, I just substituted with cash back. Well, we're going to speed back the flashback to about 2 years ago when I really started discovering, man, if I would focus on instead of getting cashback cards and getting point cards, it's something sentimental or it's something emotionally satisfying when you transfer your points or use points to pay something to me as comparison to cash back. I'm getting back the same, possibly sometimes the same rewards, but instead of seeing dollars on a statement that come back, I just see it as things I'm not paying. And for some reason, mentally, it has me like thinking, well, if I get more points, it's better than getting cash back, but you're getting the same reward percentages, which is weird. You just see it different ways. Shoot, I have a credit card that has a 5% cash back on cell phone stuff, and I never really understood how American Express did cash back until I looked at my statement one time and said I saved $1,000 this year. I was like, $1,000 cash back? Where? How, Sway? Show me the dollars.
Right.
But it was all there. I had just been saving money, but I did not see it. But I definitely know when I see that price drop from a ticket, I definitely know, hey, I got my money's worth now.
I saved this amount.
I saved all this money. You know how much I could have paid for that $1,000 flight I just got for $200? Like, you know? So, I don't know. It's weird. I've seen both sides of the spectrum.
Right, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first card was my first credit card was the Freedom.
Okay.
So that's a big cashback card,
Man, I
or you
should've
can
done
use
that.
as points. But I really just built my points up, and then when I got the Sapphire, I transferred them over. So, but those debit card points was clutch. I remember those days.
I mean, you save 1 to 2% cash back. Because my thing was always like, look, and it's still my thing today. It's transferred. If you tell me I could use this card and I can get money back in some form that I can go use, then why wouldn't I do that?
Right.
Why would I pay cash for stuff? And it translated from me using the debit cards now using strictly credit cards. I lost my debit cards in Vegas a couple weeks ago. I didn't even bother. I didn't even care about trying to get them replaced because I'm like, when do I ever use them?
Right. See, that's big money talk right there. Here.
Right. He
Actually,
don't even care. He don't care if he lose money out of his bank account. Like,
Right.
oh, whatever. Right.
well, I actually didn't lose them. They were actually just like in my room, and I put it in a bag, and I forgot about it. I thought I had lost them when I woke up. But the person had to ask me, so when's the last time you used your debit card? And I had to sit there and scratch my head. I was like, I don't even know.
Right.
They might as well keep them closed. I don't need a debit card. But yeah, it's just it's weird. I mean, I guess it depends really what it comes down to is, what makes you feel most like rewarded.
Right. Yeah.
Cashback can in certain ways. You got cards that give you 2%, 3% back on groceries or gas expenditures, or you got the cards that give you a set rate like the Freedom Unlimited or the Quicksilver. You just get straight 1.5% or something back. And those dollars do add up over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Discover It. I have my Discover It card. I have a few cashback cards. They're the ones that I have my biggest credit lines with. And I don't really spend. I don't put very much on them. Like I put them on and pay it off. They just sit there to kind of balance out whatever expenditures I have on my other cards. But
and if you're new to the game, I think cashback cards are easy to get to for some reason.
yeah,
Like the Freedom, the Unlimited.
right. And most of them will come with an annual fee on top of that too.
Yeah. Cause they want you to use it as cashback.
Right.
But I think it's more valuable if you do eventually transfer or use it as points, especially with Chase.
Yeah, I made the mistake of, getting into the points game. I still got a cashback card from American Express. I got the Blue Cash, and in hindsight now, I would have gotten the everyday card instead, so that it would have triplified my points, and I would have got the trifecta. Of, the American Express Gold, the American Express Platinum, and the everyday card. But I was still so cashback minded, and I've gotten some good rewards from that card, but I still kind of like just want to transfer to all points because it just, when you see those points adds up, you just take these trips and stuff like that. It just, I don't know, something about it that just makes me feel like I'm getting more value than what it's worth.
Yeah. But you win either way though, so just know what you're doing, do your research. Hit us up if you have any questions.
Definitely.
So, what would you say the credit card now, or the best cashback card is, as far as the credit card that's offering like the most cashback in, I guess, a specific category?
There are two cards that come to mind to me, B. The Discover It card.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It gives you like a 1.5% cash back on all your purchases. Then after the end of your first year, they double your cash back. So you get like 3% on your first year of purchases. I got a good, nice like $400 my first year as a bonus using the Discover It. And then there's also bonus categories. So there's bonus categories such as like every 3 months they have different one. Like you might get 5%, you might get up to $1,500 cash back on like Amazon purchases. And the next 3 months it might be gas stations, or the next 3 months it might be restaurants. And then at the same way, the Chase Freedom, not the unlimited version, but the Chase Freedom itself, 1% cash back. And then it also has rotating categories. So you get like 5% cash back on certain things, like certain categories like restaurants, or if you go to department stores, or you go to like, wholesalers. So, I mean, those are two I think are probably the best cashback cards you can get out right now.
So I've had one cashback card. I had the Amex Blue, and I actually didn't really see the results as far as the cashback goes. However, I will say that I didn't, at the time when I had first got the card and was using it a lot, I didn't really use the Amex Blue for all my purchases. So I didn't see the results
Oop.
like you guys may have. So now I use my credit cards for everything. Only when I absolutely have to use a debit card will I use it. So if I use my Blue Cash now, I probably would see more results. But I think with the Amex Blue Cash, you only get cash back on what, groceries and
Which
gas or something like that?
yeah, it's one of a couple of things. Groceries is like 2% or 1 and 2%, and then gas is 2%. So they both the same.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm trying to think because I always mess up those two because I always think of the Blue Cash the Blue Cash preferred card because that one has a higher rate, but it also comes with an annual fee.
Right, yeah.
So
they all confusing.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you decide to get the Blue Cash card itself, because I have the same card too, the Blue Cash every day.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Oh, you had that one too?
The everyday, yep.
See, we all got the same way. So it's 3% cash back on supermarkets. It's 2% on gas stations. I knew it was one that was higher, and then 1% back on everything else. And it's like every time I use my American Express Blue Cash card, I always seem to be like at $24 in rewards points. I'm like, how did I get there so fast?
What? I get like $7 over the whole year. Yeah, I don't even use that card anymore.
Goodness.
It's like in my dresser drawer somewhere.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
even know where it is.
Yeah. And then you get now if you get the preferred version, you get 6% cash back at supermarkets and 3% at gas stations.
You know what? They actually offered me the preferred version, but I didn't get it because I don't even use the card anymore. So I was like, yeah.
I don't blame you. I don't really do it that much.
I just use my platinum to keep it moving.
Yeah, that's why I ended up getting the American Express Premier Rewards Gold, so I could do gas and groceries with that card and restaurants. Oh, another good cashback card. I don't know how I forgot this one. It's the City Double Cash.
Oh yeah.
Because you get 1%
I did read
back.
about that recently.
Yeah, it's a good card. You get 1% cash back on every dollar you spend, and then when you pay off your purchases, you get another 1%. So you basically get 2% back cash back.
That's kind of clutch.
Yeah, that's one cashback card I still want to sign up for just to have because I think it's a good card. Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might get that Discovery too.
Yeah, I like to discover it because you get the 1%. You get the 1% cash back. I'm sorry, I thought it was 1.5. It's 1%. So 1% cash back on the card, and it offers 5% cash back in certain categories, and they cap it at $1,500 spending. So I mean, every category, like I would maximize like Amazon. They may have Amazon purchase, so I just go buy all my Amazon stuff at one time and get my cash back. And then the good thing is you can redeem cash back directly to like paying your bill instead of it being like a statement credit. So it would reduce the amount that you need to actually pay from your bank account. So I've always liked that card for that reason. It's been a really good card. But yeah, I mean, that pretty much rounds out probably the best cashback cards you could get. And we all know the recommendations for our favorite point cards,
Right.
which are the American Express Platinum, which gives you 5x points on expenditures for flights, whether you buy it at the airline company itself or if you go to the American Express Travel. And it has a host of other benefits, including lounge access, global lounge access, the American Express Lounge, Centurion Lounge Network. You have access to any of the Delta lounges, TSA pre-check paid for, American Express events and entertainment, and getting preferred seats and tickets. You get Boeing Internet, and a whole bunch of other benefits, which also mirrors some of our other cards. The Chase Sapphire Reserve card, which gives you a $300 annual credit per year that you can use towards travel. You get 3x points on all travel purchases, 1x points on pretty much everything else. But restaurants are included. It has a very wide and broad definition when it comes to travel. You also get some of the same benefits: lounge access, TSA pre-check or global entry, car insurance, primary car insurance. So if you got a rental car and you get an accident, Chase Sapphire's insurance is going to cover your car first instead of you having to go to any of your personal insurance, which makes sure that you don't have to deal with high insurance bills. So, and then there's another good points back card I recommend would be the City Prestige. City Prestige gives you 3x points on travel, restaurants. It also gives the lucrative benefit for the fourth night free. So if you stay in a hotel for 4 nights, the average of your bills on that fourth night is free. So you only have to pay for 3 nights. Also has a lot of transfer partners. Gives you TSA pre-check. It also has lounge access too. So you get lounge access there. And you get up to $2,000 I think a year where you can claim things or lost or like ticket insurance. So if you had event tickets and you missed an event, you could claim up to $2,000 a year and making sure that you get your money back. So, I mean, it all depends on where you find the most value in it.
Right.
You definitely seem that you're going to have mostly annual fee with most points cards, but at the same time, you get a lot of lucrative benefits for it too. Anything I missed, B?
I think that's it. It's a good little summary right there. And then I do a follow-up blog post on this one so everybody can read through it afterwards too.
Definitely. Cool. Well,
Interesting.
get your points, get your cash back too. All right, so now that we've talked about getting points and getting cash back, we hope that everybody has a better understanding of the difference between cashback cards and points cards. And so now we're going to take a trip. We'll take a trip to another country, another part of the world, and experience something that hopefully that you've never experienced and will have the desire to go see. So, Kier, where you want to take us today?
Guys, today we're going to the east coast of Africa. We're going to Kenya.
Whoop, whoop.
And I'm super excited. I actually sat down for once, I sat at my computer and did a lot of research. So I haven't been to Kenya yet. I haven't been to the east coast of Africa yet, but it's definitely on my list. But here are a few tips if you are planning to go to Kenya or if that's on your bucket list. So a couple of important items to know. There are no nonstop flights from the United States straight to Kenya. You will have to fly to Europe or another part of Africa or maybe the Middle East just to get to the Jomo Kenyatta Airport, which the airport code is NBO, Nancy Berry O, like octopus. So some of the airlines that go to Kenya or Nairobi, you'll fly into Nairobi. You have plenty of options. You have KLM, British Airways, Virgin Atlantic, Swiss Air, Brussels, Qatar Airways, South African Airways, Emirates, Egyptian Airlines, Ethiopian Airlines, Turkish Airlines. So if you're all about the points, you can definitely, those are plenty of partners there that you can choose from. You can always transfer your points to any of those partners or any of those airlines and get a ticket to Kenya. So like I said, you'll probably need to go from here to Europe or the Middle East or somewhere else in Africa and then take another flight into Nairobi. American citizens will need to get a visa to go into Kenya. I did read in a different couple places that you can get a visa when you get to the airport. So I don't think it's something you have to worry about with a long process. You do need a yellow fever vaccination when you enter into Kenya. So make sure you go and get your vaccination and make sure you carry your vaccination card with you. So you'll need some extra money for a visa and you'll also need yellow fever vaccination. So just so you know regarding the currency there, their currency is the shilling. So $1 is generally equal to about 103 shillings. And from what I've been reading, it looks like Kenya is a very affordable country, so you don't have to worry about spending too much money there. You can use your credit card, so you can go out there and get your points or your cash back, whichever game that you're on. Let's see here. Languages. There are 3 main languages that everyone generally speaks. Everyone basically speaks 3 languages. They speak their tribal language, Swahili, and English. Those are actually the 3 kind of like official languages that they speak there. And then so you're trying to wonder what do we do when we go to Kenya? There's so many things to do. If you're an outdoors person, this is where you want to go. So some of the top things to do in Kenya. They have Kenya is most known for their safaris or their game parks, and there are plenty of parks that you can choose from. And some of the safaris or the game parks that are most known there are the Amboseli National Park. From there, you can see views of Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. There's Lake Nakuru, which has black and white rhinoceros. There's also the Maasai National Reserve. It's a classic safari. There's cats and wildebeest there. And actually, you can go to the Maasai National Park to see the wildebeest migration, which is one of the top things to do in Kenya. And then also, one of the other top safari game parks is the Samburu National Reserve. And from there, you can head into the Buffalo Springs. The other things that you can do in Kenya are the beaches. So apparently, Kenya has some really, really nice beaches and some really nice resorts. Did you guys know that?
Nah, I had no idea. I've seen some
Yeah.
beautiful pictures though.
Yeah, so they're on the coast of off the coast of Africa, so there are plenty of beaches there, and they have different types of beaches. So they have like your popular beaches, which is the Diani Beach. It was voted most popular beach, and it's actually like 30 kilometers south of Mombasa. And then if you want to be like more of the beaten path and not around a bunch of people, you can go to Nayali Beach, which is more of a calm, relaxing beach, and that is it actually in Mombasa. Excuse me. And then another beach, if you really want to do something like off the grid, have you ever seen those pictures of the fishing boats off of the coast of Kenya or the coast of Africa?
I
Nah,
haven't seen those.
I ain't seen them either.
Okay. I'll send you guys some photos, but those are called the Llama beaches, and they're off of the Llama Islands. So basically, it's just a lot of like fishing boats or, a small town area where, a lot of locals. So if you just want to just chill, you don't want to deal with a bunch of people, then you can go to like Llama beaches. Some other things to do while you're in Kenya, you can go to the and I apologize for mispronouncing this, the Maluganje elephant sanctuary. So I know a lot of people want to go out and see some nice animals. So there's an elephant sanctuary out there. And then actually on Instagram today, a user, his name is Travel Freak. He went to a local township, and there's a lot of villages that you can visit out there in Kenya. So, and actually, when you go out to the villages, I did read in a couple places that there is a charge to go into the townships, and that you do need to be ready to haggle with everyone, regarding food or giving them money or, whatever you want to buy, or if they want to take a picture or stuff like that. I did read several places that bargaining is a must everywhere in the country. Taxis, street food, vendor food, everything like that. Anything outside of like the hotels, make sure you haggle.
Oh, we know about that.
Right.
Yes. And basically, like I said, there's a lot of things to do outside of Kenya. There's mountains there, there are the safaris, there are beaches, there are a lot of game parks, and then your neighboring other eastern countries in Africa, so there are plenty of things to do. So that's all I have. Oh, one other thing, the rainy season, which is very, very important. The rainy season in Kenya is from April to June and October to November. So you want to make sure that you kind of want to avoid going between April and June and October and November, because if you go during that time, it's a good chance that the safaris or the game parks will be closed. So you don't want to go all the way out there and the parks are closed. Now, know that outside of the rainy season, it's called the dry season, so it's probably a little bit more expensive. But like I said, you don't want to fly 16 hours and then the park is closed. That's a dub. So.
You be taking that big L.
Like
Right.
like LeBron.
Ooh, yes.
Too soon.
Oh, my bad.
He mad. But that's pretty
Rihanna
much
mad.
it. So, Kenya is definitely on my to-do list. I definitely want to get there, so I'm going to keep some of these notes, and I'm ready to hit a safari, and I'm ready definitely to hit some of these beaches.
Hey, let's go right now.
Travel squad
Yes.
trip, maybe.
Oh,
Right.
since I get my welcome packet. Yep, that's it. That's all I got, guys.
Man, I want to go. I'm Nairobi, Kenya. That's on my list.
Yeah, I mean, you saw all the airlines: Kenya Airlines, KLM, British, Virgin Atlantic, Swiss, Brussels, Qatar, South African, Emirates, Egyptian, Ethiopian, Turkish. So I mean, we have options, and just transfer your points over to one of those partners and book it.
Transfer the points or the
Yeah,
cash.
I mean, and you can make it two trips. You can go to Europe for a few days, and then you can catch a flight from Europe and go to Kenya.
Hey.
That sounds
Yes.
like a plan. All right. Well, hey, we're going to book this trip soon because our motto, book the ticket. Well,
Book the ticket.
booktheticket.com. We should steal the domain for book the ticket. We gotta steal it. Like booktheticket.com, so I come back to like website and then this picture of us like book the ticket, learn more, drifttravels.com. Well, thanks, Gary, for taking us to the beautiful country of Kenya.
Yes.
Definitely giving some African travel fever right now. So eventually soon we'll be taking the travel squad trip. One day coming soon. Pictures be on Instagram, baby. Now comes to our weekly portion of our podcast where we discuss have an open discussion on a topic that is something important to everybody that we talk to. So if you haven't already, please make sure to check out our website. Go ahead and submit a topic of the day for us for our open discussion, and we'll be able to look at what we get as some of the items that come in from our mail, and then figure out what kind of things are important to you that we need to discuss. So today, for our open discussion segment, it's going to be a conversation that is near and dear to at least my heart. Brand laughing because he know my life. When you're going and traveling somewhere, do you stay in an Airbnb? Are you a hostel person? Or are you just bougie like me and got to be in a hotel?
Yeah, but he doesn't stay in like a regular hotel. He's like in the Four Seasons somewhere, somebody's Embassy Suites.
Look,
he's not staying at like a Ramada Inn or anything like that.
The 6-star hotels.
Look. I don't even know what Four Seasons is because I'm in Texas. We only get 2 here. Nah, I ain't staying on 6-star hotel because I definitely missed out on the in Dubai, that 7-star hotel.
Oh yeah.
I definitely missed out on that. They said $2,000 a night. I was like, yo, let me get my chips together.
Lord.
It comes with a butler for the room too. I was like, hold up, that's crazy. Yeah, but that's not
$2,000.
Yeah, that's not me at all. But man, so I think I know where Brandon stands on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let him try to surprise me. Where do you stay, Brandon, when it comes to an Airbnb, a hostel, and a hotel? And what are your feelings about it?
You already know. Nah, I'm an Airbnb guy. That's how I'm rocking.
Airbnb, you better sponsor him.
Brian to stay in his first Airbnb for Cuba. We were so happy.
Man, it was,
Yay, go Brian.
You know what I'm saying? Pop the cherry.
But yeah.
Yeah, but excuse me, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but for Airbnb in Cuba is appropriate. Like, you definitely don't want to get a hotel there because you're paying way overpriced. Like, It's not even worth the money. So, sorry, that was my 2 cents.
That is true. But no, just pretty much everywhere I try to go, I try to look at Airbnb first just because I like the connection that I get when staying in Airbnb, like meeting the host. It's usually in like a local neighborhood and you just feel connected to the city. So I just love Airbnb. I haven't had really a bad experience yet, but I have heard horror stories, so I'm knocking on wood right now. But I haven't tried any hostels yet. I don't know how I feel about the whole shared room. I'm not trying to get that close, that connected, but I wouldn't overlook it, but
I would.
Nah. I don't know yet, but every now and then we might stay in a hotel. It just depends.
Yeah.
I usually try to save my points for flights, but every now and then I may stay in a hotel. So, Kiara, where do you stand?
So, when I was younger, back in my 18, 19-year-old days, I actually stayed in a hostel. There's plenty of hostels in Europe. And it was affordable, $10, $7 at the time, per night. And at that time, it was appropriate for me. I didn't have any issues in the hostels, and actually it worked out well for me because I traveled solo. So I met other women that were traveling solo. So it was an opportunity for me to meet other people. So it was basically like dorm style accommodations. It was like just a bed with a flat mattress. You had to bring your own sheet. You had to bring your own pillow. It was kind of like a community bathroom. It was like freshman dorm living all over again. But for $7 a night or $10 a night, it was fun. And then, in the morning they served you like European breakfast, a piece of bread, some cheese, and coffee and juice maybe. So it was like you got a little bit of free food, and then you got to meet other people. But now, grown up Kiera, and I work hard, no, I won't do any hostels. But if that's for you, I say go for it. It's definitely economical. But I prefer Airbnbs for the most part. I've stayed in Airbnbs a couple different countries, and I actually love it. And for me, I like it because you get to get more of a local feeling about the city or the country that you're in. So, you don't have to, you can't go downstairs and get breakfast. You can't call downstairs and get something clean or anything like that. So I get to tough it out a little bit. When we were in Cape Town, I got to walk around the city a lot and look for, go to the grocery stores, go to the dry cleaners, go to the drug stores. I love going to drugstores in other countries. And it's a lot cheaper for me, in my opinion. Like, especially when I'm like splitting the cost with someone else, I save a lot more money with Airbnb versus staying in a hotel. So that's my choice.
Oh, yeah. We're on the same side against this man over here.
Yes.
Sitting to the right of me.
Can I surprise you twice?
Uh-oh.
Can I surprise you twice, though? So, Brandon probably thought he knew my stance on all this, and I'm about to just go ahead and just mess up his little world today. Next thing he know, he gonna know pigs flying at the end of this podcast. So, I've been a staunch hotel person, but it was really because it was before I kind of got into the Airbnb craze. I just kind of liked hotels. So, it's amazing what technology and everything has done as far as making things accessible. And so when Uber first came on, like I hopped on Uber. But when I first heard about Airbnb, I couldn't understand the concept. Like I'm staying in somebody's house. I'm like, okay, cool. But, after the experience in Cuba, staying with Brandon in my first Airbnb, I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. I mean, it just depends, Because how many times I've looked at a hotel, stayed in a hotel, and it really wasn't what it was cracked up to be. The same thing can happen with Airbnb. It's nothing different. And so I have nothing really against Airbnbs. I haven't ever tried a hostel, though. Hostel would be something that would be a little bit different for me because I tend to pack heavy because I always bring everything. I'm like Batman with the utilities. So I have way too much stuff. I don't know how to pack light. I probably won't ever learn. So I'm not even going to try. But, I've enjoyed staying in some good Airbnbs. I went Airbnbs in Greece. Also stayed in some hotels in Greece. And each have their benefits. I've enjoyed being in a hotel because then you get some things carried towards you. And I've always been under the adage of, as long as I know I can sue them, I'm good. Can't sue Airbnb if I get, some type of ringworm virus or something like that, or bed bugs attack me. If the hotel does, I'm suing the heck out of that hotel. But at the same time, I've enjoyed like the comforts of staying in some nice Airbnbs. Like every time I stay at Airbnb, I get more excited about the possibility of buying some properties in Austin, Texas, and turning them into Airbnbs because I think the concept is real cool. I have to try like one time, like backpacking across Europe or something for me to try a hostel where I just be like with no cell phone or something like that.
Yeah, I do hostel over there.
Yeah. Like if I did like a trip like that, I probably would stay in a hostel.
Kind of solo, yeah. Usually we travel in a group, so it's just hard to stay in a hostel in a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the hostels. Like I said, you get to meet other fellow travelers, and you guys can hang out for the day, or you can break off on your own. It is very, very economical. You can't beat. Well, I don't know what the prices are now, but you can't beat $7 a night or $10 a night.
Right.
Like Brian mentioned, you cannot. Well, when I was there, you can't leave your stuff in the hostel overnight. So you pack everything. I had a backpack. You pack everything up, and you take it with you for the day.
That's too much.
So, like, I had 2 sheets and I had a pillowcase. And for my pillow, I just put like other clothes in my pillow case. And I kind of roughed it out that way. I can't do that now. Like, I got cleansers and moisturizers and lipstick and shoes and all the other stuff. I'm not trying to be carrying all that all day long. So, yeah, that's the only thing about a hostel. So, and I just feel like I work too dang all hard. Like, I could at least get an Airbnb for $30 a night. So,
right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Have anyone tried inclusive yet?
No. Every time I've looked at inclusive, I didn't really see listings.
Yeah, same here.
That's my experience. I mean, I want to use it though.
As soon as I see a good listing, I'm gonna book it. Cause I tried to look for Cuba, but only had like 4, and then I looked at Amsterdam. They didn't have too many. So
well, it makes sense why they didn't have that many in Cuba. So yeah. After our experience there, they have a lot of Airbnbs now because internet's not one of those things ubiquitous over there.
But as soon as they come up,
Yeah.
I got you inclusive.
But yeah, one of the part of the reason why I've liked hotels is just like the benefits I've gotten. So I finally decided to pick one hotel chain to stay with, and that was Starwood. And I found some good rates with Starwood. I also got a discount code that I use, which helps me to get discounted rates. So I don't have to pay until I get there. So that's another reason why I enjoy Starwood hotels. And especially when I stay in Starwood hotels, like the benefits of getting some bigger rooms or having the safe in there. It's just some of the things that I like whenever I'm staying. You know, and going abroad, I want to have some security. But then we've also been in some Airbnbs that had like a nice, like kind of safe area, or it felt safe to put your stuff. Like it sounds like people's like vacation homes or travel homes that they turn into an Airbnb property. So
Well, you know what turned me on to Airbnb? At first, I wasn't a fan. I was like, no, I'm not staying at anybody else's house. Who knows if it's clean? Blah 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 blah.
that's my
But
problem.
then when I booked my ticket to Japan, I'm like, okay, I got my ticket, we're good to go. All right, let me book this hotel. And they were talking about $400 a night for a hotel, and I was going to be there like 7 days. I was like, well, this is not going to work because that's too much money. And I was going by myself, so I didn't have anybody to split the cost with. So I was like, well, I got to get an Airbnb. And I found a really nice Airbnb for $60 a night. So when you compare $60 a night to $300 plus a night, for me, it was just a no-brainer. So, and I feel like in Tokyo, I had a better experience being in a Airbnb versus a hotel because I was actually in an area where a lot of locals live. They barely spoke any English, so I really had to navigate around. So, and ever since then, I've been hooked.
Got you hooked.
Mhm.
Can't be mad at that. Everyone has its own benefits, and they have some things to think about. I guess it just depends on what your trip is and where you're trying to go, and then from there, it just kind of makes sense for you.
Yep.
I just know I ain't trying no hostel.
What about crowd surfing? Oh, couch surfing. What is it?
No.
Couch surfing something. I can't even
It's
say
couch
it.
couch surfing.
Yeah. You about that life?
I used
Nah.
to be. Yeah.
Nah, not about that life.
It was free 99. If it was free 99, I could go to another city, go sleep on
Right.
somebody's couch.
Nah.
Man, I'm so crazy now. Like if my mom ain't at home, when I go home, I'm gonna stay in a hotel or Airbnb.
Right.
I'm not even couch surfing, and I got a room.
I don't even want to couch surf in the United States. Like, I just don't like sleeping on people's couches. I feel like I'm like breaking them down. I guess because we were little, like, don't sleep on my couch. You get into bed and go to sleep. So, like, I can't even sleep on the couch now without feeling bad.
Well,
I just
especially
can't do it.
if somebody be farting on their couch all day, and you have to sleep on that. Man,
All right.
That's what
Yeah,
you
sleeping on corn chips and dirty feet. No, thank you.
think.
Breadcrumbs.
Oh, come on now, that's nasty. Oh man, I just lost my appetite.
I'm gonna come to Texas and couch surf on y'all couches. How about that?
How about nah? I have an extra bedroom.
Right.
Okay, or two probably down there.
Or two, yeah. You definitely got a place at least in one of our houses, so
Okay, perfect.
I definitely have extra room. So you ain't got a couch surf.
Yay!
You and I can
I
share.
don't have to get a hostel either.
Yeah, you don't have to get a hostel
Okay, perfect.
We got you.
unless it's like South by Southwest. Then basically it turns into a hostel. 'Cause they're like all these people live in
Your
one
place
place.
gonna be on Airbnb for South by Southwest.
Yeah, sure, it didn't need to be. It needs to be.
Yeah, so I met a dude in DC. I was out one night. I was just out for whatever reason and minding my business, and this guy at the bar starts talking to me, and he's like, oh, I'm here from Puerto Rico or some crazy island somewhere around here. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, where are you staying? He's like, I'm staying at a hostel. I was like, oh, okay. Have a good night. And I like turned around, packed my bag, and left.
Really?
I think after a certain age, no, thank you. I can't.
So guys
Can't do
listening
it.
to the podcast, Snack Attack Sandoval just said, if you ever out and going to another country and you're trying to pick up a chick, please do not tell her that you are staying in a hostel because you just got
Yes.
denied. Your player card has been revoked.
player card has been revoked.
Straight
Move
from
through.
Snack Attack Sandal.
And he was trying to get me to legit go back to his hostel with him. I was like, absolutely not.
So what? Y'all could be roommates?
Right, exactly. You gonna sneak me in the back door?
Oh,
I gotta sign my name in the login sheet? No, thank you. Them days are over.
Okay, so I think we just made this clear. No hostels, just Airbnb versus hotel.
Just scratch that.
Just scratch the whole thing. Hostel, just knock it out. If somebody even says hostel, that's a cuss word. So go ahead and take that out your vocabulary.
I think with hostels too, you have to be careful where you're staying, where it is location wise to everything else in the city. Because the hostel I stayed in Barcelona was way out the way. Like it was up this tall hill, like kind of like on a mountain, and I had to walk up the hill with my bag, and it had been a long day. Like I literally was like almost in tears by the time I walked up the hill because I was so tired and I couldn't believe how much I had to walk. Even in the hostel when I stayed in Florence, I had to take like a bus, another bus, a train, and then I still had to like walk up a little hill to get there too. But it wasn't that bad versus Barcelona. So you definitely, if you're alone as a woman, I definitely would look on the map and see exactly, what it's going to take for you to get to the hostel. That's important.
Even a hostel, I recommend that for Airbnb too. Ended up staying
Yes.
at Airbnb in Greece, and it was so far away from. We're in Santorini, and we were so far away from like the city, and I personally kind of felt like we didn't get to see very much because we were so far away. So it took like a good 20, 30 minutes drive just to get into the place.
Did they lie about the location?
I don't think they lied about the location, but
just did double check
as a
it.
group, somebody went and just booked it. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Okay.
'Cause it was a really cute place. It looked like it was like a 6-bedroom house.
I think I saw y'all snap.
It looked like like if you were in a beach house for a weekend and it had like a whole bunch of rooms, except like this was just like in the middle of nowhere. And so then we had to rent a car from somebody. And then like when you think about like a hostel or even an Airbnb where it's somewhere where it's not close to a lot of stuff, then you have to think about costs like getting a rental car, which is something that we didn't really kind of plan. Well, we planned for, but not really.
Yeah, my friend who showed me how to use Airbnb and how to like what areas to stay in Tokyo, that was the first thing he told me about Airbnb is you want to make sure that you look at the location of the property where you're going to be staying because you want to make sure it's somewhere in a good area, number one, and number two, it's easily accessible. So that's the first thing I look at besides the ratings, of course, with Airbnb. I just want to make sure, like you said, how much is it going to cost me to get where I need to go at the Airbnb and what is it going to take for me to get there. Yeah. So in Tokyo, my Airbnb was right next to the metro station, literally like around the corner. So, and everybody takes the metro there, so that was really easy. But like in Cuba, we were kind of like in a residential area, so we had to walk a few blocks to get where we were going. But in South Africa, it was also right in the middle of everything, so I could get an Uber really quickly, and it was like $3 to get an Uber in Cape Town. So it just depends on where you're going. So I would definitely, like Brian said, look on the map on Airbnb and see where you're staying and make sure it's easily accessible and affordable.
Yeah. That's the most important thing.
Right.
I think it goes for anywhere you stay, Airbnb, hostel, hotel. Like now, everything I look at is like, how far is it away from a majority of the things I need to do? Do I need to take a taxi? Do I need to take an Uber? Do I need to rent a car? Can I get a bicycle? Is it a walking distance? That's how you should look at it.
Yep, I agree.
Cool.
Is that it?
That is it, y'all. Another episode of the Driftr Podcast knocking down. Woo.
Perfect. Well, I had fun with you guys tonight. I missed you guys.
Missed you too. We can't be doing this like 2-week break too.
Nope.
Gotta be weekly. Gotta see my friends.
I felt like I was gonna lose it. Like I was gonna be out the zone. Like I was nervous.
I was ready last week. I was ready. I was like at the computer and I was like, they don't love me no more. They kicked me to the curb.
Oh, we do. Hold on, let me do the exit out. I forgot all about that.
Okay.
Thanks so much again for tuning in to another episode of the Driftr Podcast. We spoke today about the best meals or the snack attack that you need to have on the airline. We spoke about points and cash back, helping you to understand why making Getting your points is important, but also getting cash back shouldn't be looked frowned upon. Snack Attack Sandoval is the new host name. Gave us a beautiful description of Kenya, so please make sure to check it out. Get your African vibes on. And last but not least, men, don't stay in hostels. But everybody, you can look at Airbnbs and hotels. We broke down the differences between Airbnb, hostels, hotels, giving you benefits and knowing which one you should try. Try all three, but if you're a guy trying to pick up a girl, don't try the hostel. Until next time, it's been good hanging out with y'all. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure to rate us on iTunes and other online sources where you connect to the podcast. And make sure to join our online community. We want to speak to you. We want to hear from you. We want to be able to help you be able to reach all of your travel goals. Make sure to visit signup.driftertravels.com. Again, it's signup.driftertravels.com. You can find Snack Attack Sandoval, Brandon Boone, and myself in there, so you can chat with us on the daily. Until next time, it's been really cool. It's been the Driftr Podcast with your co-hosts, Brian Fontenot,
Brandon Boone,
and Snack Attack Kiera Sandoval.
Snack Attack Sandoval.
It's a snack.
All right, guys. Until next time, see y'all ladies.